Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm reviewing Ace of Spades, and disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. In Ace of Spades, players go against increasingly tough bosses by making 5-card poker hands out of 8 cards in the offer to create different combinations and deal different damage, but they only have a limited number of hands to actually defeat the monsters, and a limited number of discards to throw away cards and redraw trying to build a better hand. And as they defeat the bosses, they'll unlock different powers and abilities they can use to help them fight the stronger and stronger creatures they'll encounter. And if they can get to the end to defeat Lord Overkill, they win. So let's discuss 5 key things to know about Ace of Spades. So starting at my number 5, the least important to know, but still important or I wouldn't mention it, I'm looking at the abilities on the enemies, and this is a mix overall. So most of the enemies don't have any special abilities at all, they just have a target amount of damage you have to deal. But in every third battle, you'll face a villain who has a limitation restricting what kind of cards or combos you can play. And the final boss has even nastier restrictions based on your difficulty level, usually relating to the Ace of Spades. And these are fine. It's a little bit annoying that each of the enemies doesn't have a special ability, but also this is a very quick playing game. So if you had to deal with a lot of special abilities, it might be a challenge. But they can add a nice amount of tension, like this guy doesn't let you use aces in your hand, and those tend to be the cards that deal the most damage, so it's going to force you to build your combat hands in a different way. At the same time, if all you're drawing from the deck are aces and you can't put anything good together, it can be a little frustrating to have these limitations. And the final boss's requirement to have the Ace of Spades can be pretty swingy if you don't get the ace itself or a joker that can stand in for it in your initial draws. If it happens to be on the bottom of the deck, you might lose through no real fault of your own, so it does heighten the swinginess of the game. Next at number 4 is the co-op play in the game, and this is a full-on pro. So this game is heavily inspired by Balatro, the video game, one that I love a lot, and that game is solo only, whereas this is 2-player and it works quite smoothly. You each have a hidden 5-card hand that you can discuss in vague terms but not distinctly, and 3 shared cards, and on your turn you're trying to make the best hand you can with the shared cards in your own hand. But since both players are using those same shared cards and also using the same shared pool of discards and hand plays to defeat the boss, it ends up being a quick, tense, and fun co-op experience, trying to battle the bosses together without really adding any extra rules or complication. It's a nice mode. Next at number 3, I have another full-on pro, and those are the special bonuses you get for defeating most of the enemies. These are one-time use abilities that can let you change suits to get flushes, change values, deal extra damage, just lots of cool variety in these. And these end up being, in many cases, the most interesting decisions the game has besides the actual card play itself, because when you face really tough enemies, you have to decide if you want to use these to help you deal more damage more quickly. But the more of these you use in earlier matches, the fewer you'll have when you go against the final boss, who tends to be really tough. So managing this resource and using them to change up your cards in exciting ways is consistently fun. What's distinctly less fun is my number 2, a mix, and those are the permanent bonuses that you get from the villains every third fight. Now don't get me wrong, on the positive side, these can be pretty exciting. Like if you have a card like this one that lets you do +2 damage for each diamond, and you happen to get a diamond flush and completely wreck a boss, that's always a good time. But on the negative side, these are super samey. For example, the 30 life villain will always give you a bonus to one of the 4 card suits. So while it's technically different play to play, it's really the exact same thing every single time you play. Similarly, all of the 20-point villains just give you +2 to the damage for one of the 4 face cards. So it's fine, again, the combos are still fun, but they're very samey. And my other complaint is when you get to the very high life enemies, especially the final boss, you can't really deal enough damage without firing off these special bonuses, so it again drastically increases the swinginess of the game, because if you deal extra damage from kings and you just aren't drawing kings, or if you deal extra damage with hearts and you just aren't drawing hearts, you're pretty much never going to get to the damage threshold you need to win. So I wish the abilities were more diverse, and I wish they didn't hamstring your strategy and play so much. But speaking of my hand play, that's my number 1, the most important thing to know about the game, and that is deciding when you want to discard, what you want to discard, and what hands you want to play. And on the positive side, these decisions are always tense, trying to decide what you can afford to attack with and what you can't. Like here I've got 2 pair 5s and 7s. Is that enough damage? Is that strong enough? Or should I do the 2 pair using one of the kings and try to get a straight in my next hand? And you're not only playing the current boss in the current hand, you're also trying to think about, as you fight one boss, what cards can I keep, which 3, to build into a stronger hand for the next boss. This is the heart of the game, just like it's the heart of Balatro that inspired it. But on the negative side, it's super swingy. Sometimes you'll get great hands, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll lose through no fault of your own. And again, that's exacerbated by the ongoing powers, which really push you into certain directions. And if you just aren't drawing those cards, oh well. So overall, you might want to check out Ace of Spades if you want a quick playing boss battler, if you like poker as a gameplay mechanic, or if you're a fan of Balatro but want something you can play on your tabletop that's way quicker and simpler. On the other hand, if you don't like randomness, if you want something that has deep strategy, or if you want something that does a little bit more with the core poker mechanics, I think there are other games you might want to check out, some of which I've already covered on the channel. I got to do a ranking of these types of games soon now that there are so many. And if you want to see the game in action, go check out the playthrough that's already up on the channel. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next step.